The wrong way to lose weight. Here to explain is Dr. Scott Hadlen, Chief of Adolescent and Young Adult Medicine at Mass General for Children. Dr. Hadlen, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Dr. Hadlen, as you know, it's January, New Year's resolutions, trendy time for a lot of folks to lose weight. What's the risk, though, for teenagers?
Right. The teens that we care for in our clinic feel enormous pressure to look a certain way. And we know that a lot of this is driven by social media, where people see sort of ideal body sizes and shapes that don't necessarily reflect reality. And also, there's a lot of misinformation on social media about ways to lose weight that are, quite frankly, unhealthy. And so the concern that we have for teens that try to lose weight is that they'll go about it the wrong way, right? They'll look to supplements that might be dangerous or unhealthy. They will try to lose a lot of weight really suddenly by restricting their intake. And the concern is that they can do harm to their health, or in extreme cases, they might actually develop an eating disorder, which we know affects about 1 in 20 people over the course of their lifetime.
Yeah, and diet medications have been in the news a lot. So let's talk about those. And you mentioned the issue or potential issue with supplements. So what's the biggest concern there?
Right. The concern that I have with supplements, and that so many people have with supplements, is that they're not regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration the same way that medications are. And so when teens or other people buy supplements online, best case scenario, it might not work. Worst case scenario, those supplements might contain harmful additives, or because the quality control is so low, might actually have some adulterants or contaminants in it that could cause harm to somebody. And so, using supplements really does put people at health risk because they haven't been carefully studied. A lot of people will look to supplements and think, oh, it's natural. And so because it's natural, it must be safe. And the data really show us that that is definitely not true.
And we know it can be tough for parents to have conversations about these topics with their teens. But if parents think their kids might be using pills or supplements to lose weight, or maybe skipping meals, what's the next step?
Right. Yeah, you have to talk to your teens and to your kids about this, and approach from a place of curiosity, right? Try to understand the pressures that teens are feeling, and ask them about the measures that they may have taken to try to lose weight, to understand if they may be trying supplements, or they might be trying to lose weight in a really drastic way where they're suddenly restricting all of their intake. And when you do talk to teens about their weight, I think it's really important to avoid really stigmatizing descriptors like the term fat, for example, and instead really focus the conversation on a teen's health and well-being. And of course, you can always turn to doctors. We are here to help with this. We can get teens and families connected to nutritionists and to therapists that can help get teens the support that they need.
Okay, Dr. Hadlen, thanks as always. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.